Alright, so my name is Larry Montank. Train park manager here at J Peak. Been working here for 7 years now. Started back in 2014, 2015, moved up from New Jersey after old friend Nick Rushmeyer, the old park manager, had given me a job opportunity to move up here, and I was kind of his go-to man on the ground, and he didn't want to lose me in that position, but I was constantly all over him to get me behind the sticks, and we were just going through operators left and right, and finally just got to a point where it was my turn to step up.
Digging a trench to set the rail down into the snow. I've already got my subgrade pretty well set.
By that point, I must have sat in the passenger seat with him for a couple hundred hours, just him being one of my good buddies, best friends. Finally, I was able to put it to work and see what I could do with it, and it kind of just took off from there. The next year, Kirk had come along, and he threw me right into it right away. It was pretty overwhelming my first year. It made me learn fast. I didn't really have a choice. And then at the end of that season, I got to the mountain sent me out to Cutter's Camp at Mount Hood, and from there, I just kind of fell in love with it and took it, and just been kind of running with it ever since. And here we are now, park manager. I've always loved operating equipment. I've always worked with my hands my entire life. I've always kind of had a good eye for terrain, I guess you could say. Growing up building dirt jumps and snowboard jumps for whatever snow we would get down in New Jersey. I've always had some sort of passion for it, but never really thought it would be, I guess maybe at this point you could call it career, but I don't know, coming here and then I just fell in love with it, and what Nick was able to teach us, and just my own fascination with being able to build it and then ride it and see other people ride it, and there's a lot to take away from that. And your own pride, but the fulfillment of it, of seeing other people have such a fulfillment in a totally opposite way. Definitely not a job for everyone. It takes someone who's got it takes a lot of passion to push through those tough times where you want to go to sleep, you want to go hang out with friends. So it takes a lot of devotion to really have that commitment there and that drive to do it on a daily basis. It's not just me, it goes for the whole crew. There's a lot of passion that goes into everything that's created out there. The community aspect of really the whole mountain in general, but that you get to see through the park is, there's something about it, I don't know. There's a lot to be said for riding with your friends, from the competitiveness, the ease it can create being among familiar faces and people who are gonna keep pushing for you to be better. We always ask the crew, ask the public, what do people want to see? We're always trying to throw in new stuff. I think it sets up a lot of opportunity for everyone to have fun and be creative, and I didn't really realize how much I would take away from just watching people, the enjoyment of everyone who comes here to ski and ride through the park. And it really spoke to me, I think, about my second or third year, and I really started to recognize at least more of the local faces, and just to watch these kids getting better and better each year, and almost day by day. It created this whole other aspect, or just something else to take away from the job, besides what, in my own selfish way, was just loving to build and ride this stuff, and this is my job. It's a pretty weather-driven job that dictates what I'm doing pretty much every night. We have such extreme weather here at points. The bottom of the park is just around freezing. On the top of the park the winds are blowing like you wouldn't believe, and the snow is pretty much getting ripped right out of your tiller. And we just had one of these nights. It was like 45 degrees, 35 degrees, back-to-back days. We got like an inch or two of rain, something like that, and the temperature swung about 40 degrees in a single night, and the park just absolutely locked up. And those are the nights you kind of dread. You almost got to try to rebuild the entire park in a single 8 to 10 hour shift. You got to trust the process of what you're doing. It takes a lot of work to get the product you want, and you gotta be patient with it. It takes a lot of patience and mental stamina to get through those nights sometimes. As much as you want to scream, or as much as you do scream at it and kick and pant and whine and want to go home and just get into bed, that's just part of the job sometimes, and that's just kind of the way the cookies crumble, which is a little too punny for that. So we named the park The Rusch this year after Nick Rushmeyer, the old park manager, which kind of sounds funny to say, but also one of my good buddies. Unfortunately, last year we had actually lost Nick to his battle with cancer, which I could probably bet most people who didn't, directly know him probably had no idea that for, a major chunk of his life that was something he was battling. He was just that type of positive person.
How is it today?
It's awesome. Fluffy, but consistent and fun.
He didn't let it affect his life, and he didn't let it affect anyone around him. He was all about the now, and he laid the foundations for where I am. He gave me the job. He saw everything in me for where I could get to with it, and I felt like he put me under his wing. That's just who he was, what he did. He saw the best in everyone, and I don't know, without him, I wouldn't be in the position I'm at, and I don't think the Parks would be in the position they're in. He was on a mission of progression, which is, that's just kind of that's what it's all about, progression. You can't just go in and build the biggest, baddest thing for all of 2 people who are coming here on a day to hit. He was all about getting everyone involved, and that's kind of been the motto ever since. He'd be out there every day after working every night, and just smiles and high fives and just getting everyone involved. No one would be left out. No one would ever feel like they weren't good enough to be part of it. So yeah, in memory of him this year, we decided to name the park after him for just the commitment he had to the program and the community. The nights I'm struggling, I'll almost talk to him sometimes and just kind of look for that guidance and just remember all that positivity he always had. And I keep a lot of him in what I do for the park still, because without what he did for me, I wouldn't be here in this role, building the parks, running the parks. So I don't know, he's not forgotten here by me or by anyone at all. Wherever he is cursing up a storm that we named this after him, for sure. But again, that's just the person he was. He wasn't a showboater. He had his processes, and he was just the truest individual there was.